TikTok has come under scrutiny in the US due to concerns about its potential use as a tool for Chinese espionage and propaganda. While the app has been banned or restricted in several US states, lawmakers are now considering a federal ban on TikTok, which could have significant implications for the US-China relationship and for American values such as free speech and due process. The concerns about TikTok stem from the fact that the app is owned by a Chinese company, and thus could be subject to Chinese government control or influence. Critics argue that the Chinese government could use TikTok to mine user data on Americans for espionage or blackmail purposes, or to spread disinformation and propaganda to young Americans who are increasingly turning to the app for news. Proponents of a ban argue that this risk is too great to ignore, and that the US government should take steps to protect national security by prohibiting the use of TikTok. However, there are also significant costs to banning TikTok. American venture capitalists and private equity firms that have invested billions in ByteDance could see their investments plummet if the company's valuation takes a hit as a result of a ban. Meanwhile, the hundreds of thousands of Americans who make a living as TikTok influencers, as well as the millions of users who enjoy the app, would be negatively impacted. This tension between national security concerns and the costs of banning TikTok is not unique to this app. The US and China have deep economic and social ties, and severing those ties completely would be difficult and costly. However, it is also true that some of these links pose risks. Rising imports from China, for example, create dangerous dependencies, while US funding of Chinese technology could spur technological advances that are helpful to the Chinese military. One potential solution to the TikTok dilemma is to work with the company to establish enforceable safeguards that address concerns over privacy, security, and disinformation. TikTok has proposed storing American user data in the US and establishing a standalone division responsible for moderating content. However, key national security players such as the Pentagon, the CIA, and the FBI are not convinced that these measures would eliminate all risks. A better solution might be to place the company on probation, subject to periodic reviews and with severe penalties for willful violations. This approach could mitigate risks while also protecting American values.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to our channel and clicking the bell icon to receive notifications about our latest videos.